Welcome back everybody to the YouTube channel. I am Vesuveus, and today we are going to be exploring the Matrix Online and more specifically the emulator for locations from the movie that were also in the game. If you want, you can create an account, download the emulator. It's all at mxoemu.info. That is the website for the emulator. So all the footage here today is going to be in the emulator. Okay, so first off, I have got the beta gear on. So I've got the official beta hat as well as the official beta t-shirt. Okay, both items that I actually have available in real life. Check out my Instagram, Vesuveusmxo, if you're interested in those items. More on that a little bit later. There's a back view of the t-shirt. The real one looks really cool. Very, very video game accurate. Okay, so we're starting out in the mega city in Steakhouse Northwest. Okay, I'm going to be passing the Succubus Club, going right to the opening scene, the Heart of the City Hotel. Now, as you can see, this sign is very accurate to the one that appeared in the movie. A little bit of a closer look here. The dead bulbs and Heart of the City, hourly rates, free TV, all very, very accurate. So we get some interior. As you can tell, the interior is not exact to the movie, but it's very dingy. I mean, not so much dark. You know, it's a video game. You got to make some accommodations. In the movie, it was like a long corridor hallway. This one, it's more of like a square. Here's just a generic mission area. This would be where Trinity was watching Neo on her shift before she is accosted by police. They break in, she beats them up, and then Morpheus tells her that agents are on the way. She's got to hightail it out of there. So, just a little tour of the area here. Now in this one, she runs up the hallway, she goes up the stairs. This particular building in the game does not have stairs. So the next scene is Neo sleeping at his computer. Now we know that Neo was in apartment 101, so I found a very similar area to what looks like Neo's apartment. It's a first floor apartment, of course. So Choi and his crew come and they wake Neo up. They buy a program from him. They actually take him away. They say, hey, you gotta get out, man. You gotta get out. Come out with us. So he follows the White Rabbit, just as Trinity had tipped him off about. And they take him off and away to Club Succubus. Or at least the rumor in the game and the community is that that was the club that Choi and his crew brought Neo. So we're actually going to be heading back to Steakhouse Northwest and Club Succubus. Here we are. So a lot of the locations in the game are quite detailed. Very beautiful city. We head in, past the metal detector and velvet rope, into Club Succubus. And you can talk to the other people. They can tell you little messages, talking about other clubs in the area. A little bit of a tour here. You got the bar area. Gothic theme. Got some sitting areas. Private sitting area. And it's got like a gothic theme to it. Get a closer look at these items that are on the table. Bottles of drink, candles, and we'll head upstairs. Most of these clubs are 2-level. Got the VIP seating area with the Merovingian white couches, and this guy's overlooking the city. Let's see what he has to say. And we'll hightail out of here. In the next scene, we are woken up to Neo's alarm clock. He has overslept. He's late for work. So he rushes off to work, and he's talking to his boss at the MetaCortex building. So it's a little bit foggy here, as you'll be able to tell in a moment. But off in the distance there, you can see a bit of the silhouette, the MetaCortex building. And as we get closer, it'll clear up a little bit. Now, because of the shape of the MetaCortex building, they didn't fill it in with mission areas or areas that you can explore. Actually, just the first floor. There's the MetaCortex. And we're going to hyper jump all the way to the top using our target. A little view of the exterior. No window washers. No scaffolds. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so these doorways actually don't lead to anything. A little bit more of a hyper jump. And there is Neo's workplace, the MetaCortex building. Backflip. Superhero landing. Boom. So, Neo gets a cell phone. It is Morpheus calling him, warning him about the agents. He's eventually apprehended and brought to the detention room, or as we called it in the game, the White Room. People would come here if they were exploiting the game and the developers or the customer service reps wanted to issue them a ban, like a 3-day ban or something from the game. This is where they would administer it. Actually a pretty cool area. So like if you broke the rules, you got to see a cool hidden area of the game. So you get a reward. And here is the White Room. Unfortunately, in the emulator, as it currently stands, you can't actually sit in chairs, but depending on your mood, you could sit in different styles, animations. I don't know. So the agents plant a bug in Neo's stomach so that they can trace the rebels, the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar. They eventually contact Neo and ask him if he still wants to meet. He of course says yes, we will meet at the Adam Street Bridge. So this particular location is in Mara Central. It looks pretty similar to the Adam Street Bridge in the movie. Okay, it's raining. Neo's waiting for a ride. There we go. The Adam Street Bridge. And off we go to Manson Park. So we know that Morpheus' hideout, that building's got at least 8 floors. I chose this one because it looks very similar. It does have a red pill extraction area. I'll show you what that looks like. Just a dungy, dilapidated hotel / apartment house. The only thing about this particular location is it doesn't have that iconic staircase with the black and white tile. So I'll actually show you that staircase a little bit later. But I'll explain to you why I think that this is a suitable area for Morpheus' hideout. So first off, we've got the double doors. Trinity opens up the double doors to reveal Morpheus to Neo. And they go in and they talk. And Morpheus is basically recruiting Neo to his crew. Of course, we know that he believes Neo to be the one, so he has to give him the choice. A similar area here, we don't have the red chairs, but we do have a similar setting, the fireplace in the background as you saw a second ago. And here is Morpheus at last. He takes the red pill and they bring him into the other room where they extract him from the Matrix. And this particular area is called a red pill extraction point. It's got the dentist chairs, the computers, the locators, the silly goggles that Cypher was looking into. So next, Neo was extracted from the Matrix. There's aboard the hovercraft. This particular game did not support like the real world, so we don't have any of those settings. No Nebuchadnezzar, no pods. We do have one cave. It was a exile hideout, which maybe I'll cover in another video sometime in the future. Neo was eventually brought into what I dubbed the TV room, where Morpheus really explains to him what the Matrix is. So they created this little area just for the tutorial. So this is one of the very first things you see, like after you create your character and they simulate him being extracted from the Matrix. You're brought here and Link is talking to you about, learning the Matrix. So we've got the red chairs, we've got the TV, we've got the remote, and a little table. Very cool little area. And when Neo does learn the truth, you know what happens. He's gonna pop. Then Neo begins his training, and after about 10 hours, they decide to try some out. So he and Morpheus spar in the dojo. Here is the sparring program. This is another area that was in the tutorial where they would teach you about the, just the basics of the combat system, and then you could beat up like just a low level. And there's the triple kick. The sparring dojo. To complete Neo's training, he's taught about agents and what it means to be a rebel or red pill in the Matrix. So Morpheus brings Neo to seemingly a busy downtown neighborhood where he sees the woman in red. And when Neo turns around to look at her again, she has morphed into Agent Smith, who's holding a gun to Neo's face. Now, in the movie, there's a waterfall in the background. There are waterfalls in the city, but it doesn't quite fit this setting. So I did find the Cult Chemicals monument that's in the background there. But very similar to the agent training program. And if you played the game, you probably know what that little flyer says that's blowing by my feet. So shortly after, Cypher jacks himself into the Matrix to meet with Agent Smith. Cypher is sick and tired of living in the real world, and he'll do anything to get back into the pods, even sell out Morpheus. So Agent Smith wines him and dines him in the Steakhouse. So the similar area that I could find that looked like the Steakhouse was this club, Paradise Lost. You got a sitting area and a bar here. I'll give you a little tour. This is in like a downtown skyscraper. So we'll cross this bridge here. Club Paradise Lost. You got the dance floor. Elevator with direct access. So next, they decide they're going to take Neo to see the Oracle. And I thought that this scene, which is the same room that we saw Morpheus in a moment ago, looked like that setting where they all jacked into the Matrix and the camera was spinning around them. And I believe that shot of them all posing for the camera was dubbed The Last Supper. We're in. And they drive Neo to the Oracle's apartment. So here's an area that I thought looked very similar to the Oracle's apartment. This particular one is in Mariah Projects. And I don't know, the blind man, maybe he was sitting right there. And we head up the elevator. I like how Morpheus nods to the blind man and the blind man nods back. So, Morpheus shows Neo the door. He's the one who has to walk through it. They are welcomed. They're seated in a waiting room, or rather, Morpheus is told to wait in one room, while Neo is brought back and introduced to the other potentials, the children, and their special abilities. He meets Spoon Boy, and he's then brought back to see the Oracle in her kitchen. Here she is baking cookies. Yeah, just dilapidated area. The Oracle's kitchen. And then on the way back to the hideout to jack out of the Matrix, of course there's trouble. Cypher has alerted the agents. So after Morpheus is captured, he's brought to a government building in downtown. The scene opens up with one of the agents stepping down out of a helicopter onto a helipad. Now this helipad is not on the same building as where they're holding Morpheus. It's just a couple of hyper jumps away. There's the government building. Detectors start shooting up the place, and we have one of the most memorable scenes in cinema history. The Matrix lobby shootout. One of the biggest buildings in the game, certainly the tallest, only one elevator, just one. So I guess we're going to show you around here. So these are the pillars that they were using as cover. I mean, how awesome is this? I remember the first time I saw this, just running around it. This was awesome. I'm so glad that they put this so accurately into the game. We couldn't commandeer a helicopter, But when they eventually rescue Morpheus, they take him to the subway for the hardline and the extraction from the Matrix. So here's a basic subway. Right? It's got some ticket booths. It's got a map over here somewhere. In the emulator, these subways do work. They will teleport you to other areas of the city. Here's the subway map, which I'm told that this map is actually Chicago or maybe Sydney, Australia. I don't know. If that map looks familiar to you, let me know in the comments if that is Chicago or what city that could be. Also, this is one of the locations where Neo fights Smith. All of these subways just about look the same. After that infamous fight, Neo was on the run, trying to get back to the heart of the city hotel, room 303. In the movie, Neo takes the fire escape to get to the roof. This game does not have a fire escape, so we will take the elevator. In the game, they had drain pipes that you could climb up. But if you got hyper jump, you just hyper jump. We're going to take the elevator to the 3rd floor. Neo is racing to get to the hardline. He opens up the door to find Agent Smith. He's then gunned down in the hallway, only to be revived by Trinity. He then destroys Smith. Answers the phone. He leaves the Matrix. And becomes the One. So the final scene that we have here, the final movie location, is the downtown intersection, where Neo was talking to the machines and telling him that now that he's here, things are going to change. I know you're out there. I can feel you. I know that you're afraid. Afraid of change. And then we are treated to a scene where Neo puts on his sunglasses, looks up into the sky, and flies off. See, as soon as Neo became the One, he was willing to work with the machines, not knowing everything that they had in store for him. So they pan out, Neo jumps and flies off into the horizon. And that is all I've got for you, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Movie locations in the Matrix Online. I hope you all follow my Instagram page for daily Matrix content. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the alert button. That way you get a notification every time I come out with some new video, new content, and other cool shit. If you'd like to get into the Matrix emulator, you can go to mxoemu.info. There's directions on how to download, install the emulator. If you want to see these locations, hit me up, Instagram or YouTube. You can write something down in the comments, and we will get together and I'll show you all around the mega city. Okay, I have gotten some requests to do an install video on how to install the emulator. I haven't installed that emulator in years. I can't record my desktop, so a video like that is not coming from me. However, there is one out there, so wait until the end of the video and I will link it. Plus, there's lots of support on the Discord channel, so if you're on Discord, hit us up in the MXO chat room. Also, I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video the beta gear. If you are interested in a beta hat or beta shirt, I got some other cool things that are coming out. I'm working on the Awakening sunglasses right now, the coated sunglasses, and also some more Pandora's box videos, and like a loot box, like a Pandora's box loot box coming out. Hopefully around by summertime. So if you're interested in those, check out the link in my Instagram bio. That's my little Wix site where you can check out the items and contact me for some orders. Okay, operatives, that's all I've got. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. Give you a little salute. Vesuveusmxo, shutting down.